If you're a pedestrian, you don't just hang out in the street. Oh, ho, hum, doesn't matter how fast I cross this street. No, get the hell out of the street. The real NV87, the blind NV87, the NV87 who doesn't care what the screen looks like. Hi everyone, and welcome to another edition of Driving Me Crazy reaction videos. If you hear a name and said person says something that really kind of gets to you, you kind of have that name in your mind, don't you? Well, there's a gentleman like that on the Driving Me Crazy series. Not Chris Mcginness. I like Chris. This guy that sends him videos, you know, the very first edition of Driving Me Crazy reaction that we ever had featured this guy. And I have to believe that this was the video sender's comment and not Chris's. But I really had a hard time with it.
These two videos happened 2 minutes apart, and they were just a few feet from a crosswalk. He said, "You can't fix stupid." And Vision Zero is a waste of money and time when people do this on the roads.
Bold, but yeah, I mean, that is how we have so many pedestrian crashes, you know, and so many fatalities, because, people...
Just a few feet from a crosswalk is where those people were crossing and the skateboarders. So that's, you know, I mean, that you feel that as a driver. You're like, I mean, you don't want to run into those situations. So, Michael, thank you for sending in those videos.
I went on to dedicate the whole rest of the video to talking about how Vision Zero was not a waste of money and time, because it is tragic how deadly streets have become. I don't know if I went into those kind of details, but there was recently a report saying that one of the leading causes of death, there's heart disease, there's strokes, there's cancer. Those are all horrible. I'm not belittling those at all. But one that's quickly jumping up there to compete with them is the roads. Being a pedestrian and walking across the street and you don't live to see the other side of the street. Vision Zero strives to put a stop to that. And for him to say Vision Zero is a waste of time and money really got to me. Even though I'm not officially affiliated with Vision Zero, it really just rubbed me the wrong way. Maybe because I know someone personally and care about that person, and she's a friend of mine. And if circumstances had happened differently, I would have lost her before we had even a year together. And how would I have lost her? To a driver that ran her down in the middle of the street. Thank God her injuries were not life-threatening and she was able to recover. So many of them end so differently. Either someone is severely injured and their life is never the same, or the person is injured to the point of death and the lives of the people they love will never be the same. But having said that, what he really said was, Vision Zero is a waste of money and time when people do this on the roads. And apparently this guy has sent Chris multiple videos. Chris featured one this morning, and I have to say, although I have a hard time with the Vision Zero comment, I see the guy's point when this is what he was showing off.
When you cross the street, you look for a crosswalk, right?
Yes.
Most times?
I do.
Okay.
You should.
Yeah,
I do.
you should. Well, Michael Carson has sent me numerous videos in the last month of people doing this, and it drives him nuts. He's driving down 122nd and Gleason, and somebody just randomly crossing the street. The crosswalk is what? 100 feet?
Yeah, that's
and not in a hurry. And not in a hurry. This is near 122nd and Gleason, and this is, he sent me numerous videos like this.
Yeah.
It happens a lot. I mean, not just in that part of town, but it's. I mean, as a driver, you got so much to worry about, let alone somebody just nonchalantly crossing the street not in a crosswalk, right?
Absolutely.
So that's a tough one. If you've got something on the roads that drives you nuts, you'd like to share it with us, post your videos or your photos on my Facebook page, or of course you can email me like Michael did. Mcginness@KGW.com. We'll be right back.
Okay, got to admit, I see the guy's point on this one. I mean, I know I'm not much of a pedestrian at all. My idea of being a pedestrian is you're sighted, you know where the hell you're going, you know how to get to the place that we're trying to go. You're familiar with the buses, you're familiar with the streets. We walk across the street under your power. I hold your elbow and you walk. That, by the way, is called sighted guide. We walk across the street together. We go to the bus stop. We get on the bus. We get off the bus because you said, okay, here's our stop. We are pedestrians. We walk down the sidewalk, stop at the crosswalk sign, stop at the crosswalk, stop at the crosswalk. Use the crosswalk to walk through the intersection when the time is right, and we cross the street together. And that doesn't happen very often, so I'm not the most common pedestrian in the world, but you know what? If I was in what is called an orientation and mobility lesson, if a route came up and I was like, that's one street crossing I've got to do between point A and point B, maybe I should try to learn it. It's not that long of a route, it's one street crossing. Maybe I can do this. And I employed an orientation and mobility instructor. And that orientation and mobility instructor and I worked on this. When I got to that crosswalk, you know what I'd do? I'd wait for the surge of parallel traffic and then put my cane out and strut across that street as quickly as possible. I want to get the hell out of the street. Get out of the street! If you're a pedestrian, you don't just hang out in the street. Oh, ho, hum, doesn't matter how fast I cross this street. No, get the hell out of the street. You're gonna get killed like that. Talk about driving me crazy reaction. I had a reaction to that one. It is a problem that streets are so deadly. But if a person is doing that, I'm not going to say they deserve to die. No one deserves to die before their time. But they at least deserve to get, bumped with a car, scared a little bit. Scared straight. Get the hell out of the street. Don't use the street as a place to just mosey on. Life can just stand still. I'm not in a big hurry. No worries. Okay, take a relaxing, calm walk and take an hour to do it. But at least be on the sidewalk when you're doing it. For God's sake, you're going to get yourself killed. Just strolling along in the middle of the street like there's not anything to be concerned about in the world. Okay, I think I have made my point, and I think I have found my one go-to thing while I have some kind of bumpy times in the road where my vlogs might be a little scarce or a little, whatever, because I'm not even sure what I want to vlog and what I don't want to vlog, what I want to edit into a vlog and what I don't want to edit into a vlog. So the vlogs might be a little inconsistent. But driving me crazy, I think I have found my little, this is what we're going to be doing. If nothing else, you can pretty much always count on it driving me crazy. I'm going to bulk film Driving Me Crazies. That said, see you in next week's episode of Driving Me Crazy Reactions, and thank you for watching. Please follow me on Twitter, or if you must, on Facebook. Check out the description below for services and petitions that I believe in, and I'll see you in the next video when you hear what I have to say.